Hey everybody, Bruce Weinstein with Cooking with Bruce and Mark. Today I'm making killer blackberry oat bar cookies. If you're like me, you think bar cookies are absolutely the best kind of cookie there ever could be. You know bar cookies, you bake them in 8 or 9 inch square pans or 9 by 13 rectangular pans or half hotel sheet pans, and then you cut them into bars to eat them. We're talking brownies, blondies, lemon bars. In this case, we're doing blackberry oat bars. They're going to be a crunchy, crunchy oat cookie bottom and top with a blackberry jam filling. And if you don't like blackberries, when we get to that part, I'll tell you what else you can use. But to make these, we're going to start with solid vegetable shortening because in my opinion, that makes the crunchiest bar cookies possible. If you really like the taste of butter, and that's what you want, use half butter and half vegetable shortening. So what I have in the stand mixer is 1 cup of solid vegetable shortening. That's 8 ounces. And to that, I'm going to put in half a cup of granulated white sugar, and I'm going to put 2/3 of a cup of light brown sugar. We're going to let the mixer blend those up till it's nice and smooth. It's a good idea to scrape down the mixer once or twice while you're doing this to make sure it blends evenly. Once this mixture is creamy and well blended, I'm going to put in 1 egg white, and I'm going to let that go. Now a little controversy. This is when I like to add my nuts. This way I don't have to chop them up really fine. I let the mixer do it. I have 1 cup of pecan pieces, and I'm going to let the mixer sort of break them up as they go in. If you're using a hand mixer, then you've got to chop the nuts by hand. It's only a good stand mixer can chop them up for you as you go. Now we have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour and 1.5 cups of rolled oats. We're also going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Once the dough forms a nice crumbly mass that kind of holds it together, it's done. Now I have sprayed a 9-inch square baking pan with baking spray. That's the spray that's got the fat and the flour in it. If you don't like using that, you can butter it or use solid vegetable shortening and then flour. But I find it's convenient to just use it all in the spray form. And we have our crumbly, beautiful dough. And we're going to eyeball this because I want to put 2/3 of it as the bottom crust. Then we're going to put our jam filling and then the 1/3 on top. So I'm just going to eyeball 2/3 of this. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to press it using my fingers into this sprayed pan. If you eyeballed it and find that you didn't quite give yourself enough to cover it all, it's okay to take a little bit more and just stick it in and patch it up. These are called blackberry oat bars because I'm now going to put a layer of blackberry jam. I have 1/2 cup of blackberry jam and I'm just going to spread it across. Now, if you don't like blackberry jam because of the seeds, you can get seedless. If you don't like blackberries, you could do this with strawberry jam, with grape jelly. Apple butter even works. Apricot, peach, almost any kind of jam or preserve will work in this recipe. Just spread it out very thinly all over the top of this dough. Notice I'm keeping a little bit of edge all the way around because I don't want too much jam to seep out to the edges of the pan because then it could burn and stick. The jam part is done. Now we take the remaining 1/3 of our dough and we crumble it all over the top. We're not trying to get a solid top. We want to see some of the jam in between bits and pieces of the topping. Now lightly press it down. And we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for 45 minutes, and then we're going to try it. Before we unmold these cookies and give them a taste, I want to ask you all to please subscribe to Cooking with Bruce and Mark. Hit subscribe now. It's right there. It's right below me. And hit like. It's right there. And leave a comment. Let's talk. Okay, we love to talk to you. Tell me what you think. Make these. Try them. Leave a comment. My 9-inch pan of blackberry oat bars baked for 45 minutes. I let it cool completely so I can actually handle this. But now the moment of truth. We have to unmold it. So we take a cutting board. I put it on top. And let's listen for that wonderful sound of it going thump. Ah, I heard that. That's great. Now, problem is, it's upside down. So what we do is we take another cutting board, put that on top, flip it, voila, a beautiful 9-inch Blackberry oat bar that I'm going to cut into bars. I love to cut this into 16 pieces. That means we have to have 4 by 4. So I start by cutting it in half, cut each half in half, now, these are 4 beautiful bar cookies, but we're going to turn them into 16. Oh, now I get to try it. Now, I'm not going to eat all 16 of these, and Mark will have a few. So what's really nice is these freeze beautifully. You could freeze it as a big block before you cut them, or you could freeze them once they're cut. I'm going to try one. That's like streusely. That is like the best oatmeal cookie. It's chewy, it's jammy. Now I need to go make a pot of coffee, because that's what that needs. The nuts, and the berries, the brown sugar, even a little bit of salt. These are amazing bar cookies. I hope you'll try them. I hope you like this video. I hope you'll subscribe to Cooking with Bruce and Mark and leave us a comment. Let's be in touch. And I'm just going to eat more bar cookies.